Hi, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm here today to share a Christmas card idea, a unique Christmas card idea that I'm going to create with the help of my Big Shot and the new Tags and Trimmings stamp set. And along with that, I'm going to show a couple of the thinlits from the Trim Your Stockings pack. This pack is so cool. So I'm going to show you one idea, and then as we go through my video, I'll give you a couple of other tips and tricks that you might want to try if you decide to get the Trim Your Stockings thinlits. I'm going to die cut the huge stocking that's in this pack from the Be Merry Designer Series paper. This paper is on page 188 of the annual catalog. So I've cut a piece of it, and I'm going to die cut the stocking first using my magnetic platform, my bottom standard cutting pad. I'm going to put my stocking on, my top cutting pad, hold it in place, and then run it through the Big Shot. And then I'm going to use my Big Shot again. This die was so big I could only do it at one time. And I'm going to bring in a piece of Whisper White. It's just a scrap piece. And from the Whisper White, I'm going to do a stocking top. Make sure I put it the right way. And then I have a stocking toe. And I have a stocking heel that I'm going to die cut, if it behaves. There we go. Just slide this in a little bit more. All right. Put my top standard cutting pad on, run those through, and then I've got one more thing I'm going to die cut. Let's just get these out of the way. The fun part about this ensemble for stockings is you can do a solid stocking and then designer series paper for the pieces, or you can do like I am, where you use a pattern for the stocking and solid for the pieces. And then the last thing I'm going to do is bring in a piece of Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper. Love this paper. And I'm going to die cut from that same pack. There's this huge snowflake. So I'm going to die cut it out, but I'm going to put the glimmer paper face down, and then I'm going to put the snowflake on top. It's just easier to die cut that way. I'm going to run it forwards and I'm going to run it back. I would like double pressure to help me pop this snowflake out. Oh, like a charm. Worked like a charm. All right, so I'm going to assemble everything. In a minute, I'm going to take the top of my stocking, and I have got, my stocking's going to be like that, the topper of it, and from the Tags and Trimmings stamp set, I've selected the Celebrate the Season image. And I'm going to ink it up in Cherry Cobbler, and the reason that I chose Cherry Cobbler is because that's the color that's in the designer series paper I'm using. Okay, I'll clean that after the video's over. I'm going to bring in my stocking, and then I'm going to bring in these pieces like so. And then I'm going to adhere them together so that I have a complete stocking. Full disclosure here, when I went to put the topper for the stocking at the top of the stocking, it wouldn't fit onto my card base. So I pulled it off and I moved it down. And because I want it on a card, I'm going to have to trim a little bit of the designer series paper so that my stocking will fit just barely, but it will fit on my card front, which is going to be Whisper White. But before I adhere the stocking on there, what I want to do is bring in from the Tags and Trimmings stamp set, there's this little snowflakes image, and I don't want it to be red, and obviously I can't do white on white. So I decided to bring in my Versamark ink, which does like a watermark, and you won't be able to see it on the video, but it will be visible to the eye on the card. I'm not sure there's even any point in showing you, but there are snowflakes all over the front now. So I just did random stamping, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over my stocking, and I'm going to put some snail adhesive all the way down it, like so. Then I want this to be able to fit into an envelope. So I have to angle my stocking just a little bit. It's really cute. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this little snowflake. I think I could use some two-way glue pen or fine tip glue pen to adhere it down. But I think what I want to do is I want to pop it up a little bit. So I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to go and get a Stampin' Dimensional, and I'll be back and we'll finish off the card. There we go. There's one regular size Stampin' Dimensional, fits beautifully on the back side of this snowflake, and then I just popped it onto the front of my card. I just feel because there's so much white on this card that if I just popped it up a little bit, it would add some interesting details. Now, how can you fancy this card up a little bit more? What you could do is you could put a layer of designer series paper on the card base and then use solid, 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 and solid. Or you could have a cherry cobbler card base instead of the whisper white that I used. Then you might want to add a different pattern designer series paper, maybe that brings in another color so it's not cherry cobbler sitting on cherry cobbler. As I've already mentioned, you could have a solid stocking and then use designer series paper for the toe and the heel and the cuff. And then you could do a banner across that had your phrase. There are so many ideas for creating this. Let me show you in this pack all the other details. The Thinlit pack comes with a gift card holder piece. I can show that on another video. And then look at all the other options you have. You have holly, hearts, bells, little tags, star. Just amazing. All these different pieces that you can use on your stocking to make it a really fun Christmas card idea. So you could create the same kind of idea, but many different variations depending on what your creative flair is. For a complete listing of the supplies that I used and all of the measurements for the cardstock pieces, please visit my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. While on my blog, make sure you're a newsletter subscriber. I have a newsletter series coming out right now. It's free and it's called the 12 Weeks of Christmas. I'll show you lots of Christmas card ideas, project ideas, and gift tag ideas. I'm Terry. I'm nuts about stamping. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.